Today, we have Tabby on. He joined my mentorship program a few months ago, and for November 2023, he closed the month out at $200,000. So today, we'll be diving into the revenue, the profit, what key factors drove his success, and everything else behind the scenes. So, Tabby, I appreciate you joining us today. For the people at home who haven't seen you in the Discord before, do you want to give them a little intro, like where you're from, how old you are, and how ecom is currently going for you?
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate being here. So I'm known in the Discord community as Tabby. My name is Mel, and I am from the Philippines. I moved here to Canada in about 2017, and I've actually started studying dropshipping in about 2018, and I never started a store until 2020. So that took me 2 years to literally study about dropshipping and before taking action. And now I've done Facebook ads, and now I'm fully transitioned to TikTok. And as Anthony have said, I've closed the month for about 200,000. But I think overall across all my stores for the year, it's probably about a million.
Absolutely legendary, bro. Again, this was just 1 month, the results, the 200K. So
Yeah.
for all your stores, or maybe just this month, what is like the profit margin on that? Because you know how haters are in the comments. They're like, oh, well, what's your ROAS? Kind of freaking out. So how are things, behind the scenes?
Yeah, so my profit margin across all the stores, I would say, is about, it's not the greatest, but it's about 15 to 20%, which is, I think, is still, pretty good for how I started with TikTok. But yeah, 20% is still good.
Yeah, and one thing too for the viewers, like typical margins at scale are 20 to 30%. So if you have like $1 million and you're still making 200K on that, that's still quite good when you look at the full picture. Now, before joining, the mentorship program, I do got to give some credit. Tabby had a store, I think, pushing six figures when you first joined. So can you talk a little bit about where you were at before the mentorship program and sort of why you chose this one? Because again, you already had some success. Like you weren't a total noob by any means.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, like for me, I think I still consider myself a bit of a noob to intermediate, to
You're
be
doing
honest.
200K a
Uh,
month, bro. People are
well,
hearing
yeah,
this
but
and like, man.
I think I think luck has always been on my side. Like that six-figure store, actually, one of the stores made about 500
Mm,
grand in a span of like I think 6 months. But to be honest, that store, I think I was just running it on luck.
no
I
such
literally.
thing. Luck is when preparation meets timing.
Yeah, I agree. But in that instance, all of my UGCs were ripped. Well, I edited them a little bit here and there, but all of them were ripped. I never contacted anyone to create my UGC for me. And of
Okay.
course, like, for those strategies, I just, I've watched so many YouTube videos about like TikTok strategies here and there. But the reason why I said luck, it's because I never had a framework. Like, I just test things around,
Mm,
throw five creatives, 10 creatives here and there, and then see what sticks. And then if it sticks, I'll scale to the moon. So
okay.
that's why I say it's luck for me.
And this was, before joining, just throwing everything at the wall. So I'm curious then, there's hundreds of drop shipping YouTubers, mentors, coaching programs, gurus, however you want to frame it. How did you end up, choosing my program, when there are quite a lot of others out there?
Yeah, so the reason why is because I really liked. Like, I've stumbled upon your video one morning. I think it was about a video when you did a certain number selling the bodysuit. I like
Oh, the spotty seat.
yes, that
Yeah, the
one.
classic,
And
bro.
yeah, and I saw your video and it felt very genuine. Like you literally showed all the steps that you did. You were very genuine. You showed the profit. You showed the revenue. You showed like the process of it. And I said to myself, this guy seems really genuine, and it doesn't seem like you're just selling something. It really seems like you were trying to help people in the community. So I think after that one, I joined the Ecom Mafia, like just the paid Discord group. And then I think after a couple of weeks or maybe a month even, I used your pre-built 2.0. And for all
Best
everyone
theme,
out
baby.
there, yeah, for everyone out there, the Rebuild 2.0, and Anthony knows this, is the theme that I used that made me about 500 grand.
It's so
Yeah.
good. It's free, but it packs a punch for sure. So where were we able, to best help you out then? Because I know you mentioned you didn't really have a system before. I know you've posted wins before, like screenshots like this, where you talk about like, thanks for your testing strategy and the scaling one too. They're clutch. So like, what's the best benefit for you? Because you're pretty independent. Like some students, we're talking every hour of the day, back to back to back, but you kind of lurk in the shadows and you don't actually like ask me for advice that much. You're very independent. You just sort of take the frameworks, I feel like, and just sort of put them into use. So like, to you, what's been the best benefit or biggest thing that's helped you out?
Yeah, to be honest, like I've always been self-sufficient. I always try to do everything on my own. I'm kind of stubborn, I would say. I rarely ask questions until I got to a point that I'm really stuck somewhere. So I try all my best to look all through those through the Econ Mafia course, and literally study them step by step. But yeah, I think the thing that really helped me are the frameworks, the dropshipping master plan you have in the Notion. That really helped because I really knew, like before, I was just throwing some stuff up, like for testing strategy, I would move from one YouTuber to another, and
Just
I
trying them
never
all.
had this. I never had this consistency until yeah, when I saw your YouTube video, you had your testing strategy. I tried that. I put myself down. Tried to. I told myself I'm a beginner. Let's follow this one step by step. Anthony's video, and that really did good for me. So after like doing the testing strategy, I moved on to scaling. So I think the really important thing is having that framework of just stick to one framework and don't keep on hopping around like every other YouTuber's strategy. And as long as you have that framework, I think that's really vital because you have something to follow. Like if something fails, do this. If something works, do this. Those kind of things.
So you've been in mentorship for a few months. Do you remember the exact month you joined? Like how many months ago?
I think it was about June, July, like
Okay,
when I
so
joined.
that's maybe like 4 or 5 months from now. So where do you think you would be then right now, like if you had never joined? Because I imagine you might still be drop shipping because you had made some money beforehand. But in terms of like, you hit 200K this month, you've had other successful months. Where would you be at in life if, you never had joined?
Yeah, so I think, like as I've said earlier, I think I would have just thrown things at the wall and see what sticks. I will be blindly drop shipping. I think, like never never following any specific strategy. Just watch one YouTuber, see his testing strategy, and then if it doesn't work, move on to another YouTuber,
Mm-hmm.
see what their testing strategy is. And I think the really important thing is being able to follow you. And of course, I did ask you a few questions here and there. That really helped me. And of course, having Jason and Ant on the Discord as well, giving tips, has been really helpful.
Always helpful, bro. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And for anyone, like who's watching this all the way to the end, like they're clearly interested in drop shipping, or else they wouldn't watch this far. So like what would you say to that viewer? Maybe they are thinking about joining mentorship, maybe they're still even considering if drop shipping, is a viable business model. So what is some like wisdom you can share with them? Because, you're from the Philippines, it's a more poor country. A lot of viewers watching might be from some third world countries. You've now moved to Canada, bro. You're working, you have a 9 to 5 job as well. You're making money there. You have a store that's successful. So, you have a lot going positive. So, what is something you can give to people, to keep them maybe motivated or give them some success as well?
Yeah, so I think, as I said earlier, I studied dropshipping from 2018 to 2020. And 2020 was the first time that I actually started a store when I actually got fired from my job. I think my best advice would be to never, I would say it's pretty cliche, but never give up. Like you
Never
never
give up.
know when you're gonna when you're ever gonna find success. For me, it took a couple of months, even years, to find my actual winning product. I've had products that I've been, scaling here and there, but just breaking even or very small margins. But eventually, once you have this pursuit to achieve this dream, of course, like just never giving up on like achieving this, and of course having the framework, or as I've said, like having the VIP, having the framework of mind will get you to that dream closer, and of course will make you not waste too much of your money.
Awesome. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you hopping on today and sharing your experience. Do you want to promote any social medias, any links or anything? I always like to give the opportunity.
Private, kind of low key here and there, like
That's
even
what the
in
last
the
three people
Discord.
said. The last
Even
three
in the
people
last
said that, bro.
Discord, I've been very low key, but like, yeah, feel free to message me in Discord. I guess you can, if you want to show my Discord username in there. But yeah, feel free to ask me questions there.
Awesome. Well, thank you for hopping on. If you guys want to book a call, I will have that link down in the description below. And then on the screen now are 2 videos you might enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Tabby, for joining us, and peace.